Hello, I'm David Rose, and thanks for stopping by for this look at Washington's Most Wanted, featured this weekend in partnership with Crime Stoppers. You know, I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of evil in this world, but Washington's Most Wanted is suitably built to tackle that evil, and you can help us make a difference in keeping our communities safe. My top fugitive this weekend is charged with crimes so sick and so disgusting that there is no punishment in my mind that is harsh enough. The victims can never tell. So you and I have to be their voice. Let's take a look at tonight's top fugitive. King County prosecutors have charged Nicholas Civic with 2 counts of first-degree animal cruelty and issued a warrant for his arrest. Detectives in the Major Crimes Unit say graphic photos and videos showed Civic having sex with 2 dogs, Hero, who he was dog-sitting for a friend, and his own pet Hazel, who you see there in the photo with him. Both dogs are now safe. He no longer has access to either of them. But documents show Civic has volunteered at veterinary service providers in the past. Detectives say since 2012, Civic has brought other dogs he's owned to the vet to be treated for injuries. 2 of them died.
Mr. Civic engaged in some of the most disgusting, terrible behavior we can imagine, betraying the trust of these animals for his own personal satisfaction.
Nicholas Civic is 29 years old. He could be in southeast King County in the Bonnie Lake area, or he could be in Roslyn in Kittitas County. He may be driving a 2005 gray Dodge Ram 1500 pickup with Washington license C24019S. If you know where King County Major Crimes detectives can find him, submit an anonymous tip right now to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound through the P3 Tips app that you can download to your cell phone for free, or call the hotline 1-800-222-TIPS. There is a cash reward offered of up to $1,000 if your tip leads to his arrest. Now the search is on for the suspect who sparked an Amber Alert on February 24th when Renton Police say he stole a car with a 5-year-old girl inside. She was found safe in the car about an hour and a half later after the suspect abandoned it in SeaTac. Well, tonight, Renton Police are asking for your help to find 23-year-old Carlos Ernesto Coto, AKA Carlos Salazar. He currently has a warrant for his arrest for robbery in Kent after police say he stabbed a man in the neck and stole his cell phone in January. And now detectives say they have probable cause to arrest him for kidnapping second degree and auto theft. Renton Police first released these surveillance images and video of the suspect leaving a Safeway off of Rainier Avenue South. Moments later, detectives say he stole the car when a food delivery driver ran into a restaurant to pick up some food and left his daughter in the car. Well, it wasn't long before detectives got this much clearer image of the suspect when they learned he'd been seen that morning trying the door handles on cars in the parking lot at Snoqualmie Casino.
He's been pretty prolific. In fact, the reason that we were able to track him down that day is he committed a series of crimes prior to us having contact with him, and we're able to track that back, and it was one of the other places that he had committed a crime or caused a problem that allowed us to get the pictures to identify him.
Carlos Coto has several other pending cases as well as a vehicle theft in Bellevue. He was convicted of malicious mischief in the second degree in January of 2020. In that case, he did $1,600 worth of damage to a fire suppression device in his cell at the Score jail. His criminal history includes vehicle trespass, theft third degree, false statement to a public servant, disorderly conduct, attempted possession of stolen property second degree, attempted vehicle prowling, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. Carlos Coto is 23 years old. He's 5 feet 6 inches tall. Keep an eye out for him in South King County. Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound will pay you a cash reward of up to $1,000 for any information that leads to his arrest. I took it too far. I'm sorry. I was just testing her. Auburn police say that's what our next fugitive said to the mother of a 12-year-old girl when she confronted him about allegedly molesting her daughter. Now, King County prosecutors have charged 36-year-old Dwight Newell with child molestation in the second degree, and they've issued a warrant for his arrest. According to court documents, Newell was a guest in the home last month. Police say after the victim's parents fell asleep, he went into the girl's bedroom and sexually assaulted her. He has 5 previous felony convictions, including unlawful possession of a firearm, assault third degree, and attempt to elude police. Now the King County Criminal Warrant Unit is asking for your help to find him.
He is wanted, as we often see in these cases, in all 50 states. I think that's an indicator of how much our courts and the Sheriff's Office want to protect our children. We'll go to any corner of the U.S. to try and find this felon and bring him back to King County to hold him accountable for these charges.
You don't have to look that far, though, as detectives believe he is somewhere in SeaTac or South King County. Dwight Newell is 5 feet 10 inches tall, 170 pounds. If you know where he's hiding, submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound for a cash reward of up to $1,000. The U.S. Marshals Pacific Northwest Violent Offender Task Force says our next fugitive speaks fluent Portuguese. He may have fled the country, but deputies say somebody here in Washington State may know exactly where he's hiding. So take a look at Johnzellmer, AKA Cando. Zellmer has been on the run since December of 2006. He's wanted for an armed bank robbery in Cowlitz County. A federal judge released Zellmer for a Christmas furlough so he could visit his dying mother in Castle Rock. Instead, he stole his mom's truck and disappeared.
Although we believe he fled to either Mexico or Brazil, it is very possible that someone here in Washington has information that can lead us to exactly where he is. The last pictures we have were from 2006. He's obviously aged since then, and it's possible that he changed his appearance. He does have tattoos on his forearms and on his chest and on his abdomen, so those would be good things to look for. The Marshals' goal is to keep the public safe by apprehending violent fugitives and ensuring that they all face justice. In this case, he's wanted not only on the armed bank robbery, but also for the escape, and he's been on the run for so long. We want to send the message that no matter how long it has been, we will continue to seek justice.
The Marshals say Johnzellmer spent time in Brazil as a foreign exchange student, but he also has ties to Oregon and California. At the time he disappeared, he was 5 feet 10 inches tall, 160 pounds, with blue eyes and brown hair. He's 36 years old. If you can tell the U.S. Marshals Pacific Northwest Violent Offender Task Force where to find him, submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers through the P3 Tips app or call 1-800-222-TIPS for a full $1,000 cash reward. Now, let's talk about Syed Kamizi. Detectives say the 37-year-old has continuously threatened to kill a woman. He's wanted tonight for rape, extortion, and felony harassment. Last month, deputies say he blackmailed the victim into taking him to a hotel in Woodinville where he raped her. The rest of the abuse she described is so heinous, I cannot repeat it here. She was able to get free and get help. The courts have already set Kamizi's bail at $250,000 once he's caught and issued a nationwide warrant for his arrest.
Every time she attempts to take the steps necessary to get the distance she needs, he claims to have intimate photos that he'll release to her family, and in essence holds her as a hostage with this extortion. We're going to break that with the help of Washington's Most Wanted viewers. We're going to get him in custody, a sizable bail. We know that once he's certainly is arrested, he will not get a chance to get out, recommit, keep violating this no contact order, and continue to victimize her. She will be a survivor, and that's going to come thanks to the help of our viewers.
Syed Kamizi is 37 years old. He's believed to be staying in the Factoria Crossroads area where he claimed to have worked at a mechanic shop, or he could be in Redmond or Kirkland. Call 911 if you spot him. If you know where he's hiding, submit that information through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone that you can download for free. To submit that information to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound. It's anonymous, and you will be paid a cash reward of up to $1,000 if your tip leads to his arrest. A convicted sex offender who likes to ride his bike is wanted tonight in Pierce County. Edward Harris was convicted of assault in the 3rd degree with sexual motivation in 2011 and failing to register as a sex offender in 2016. He's wanted now for failing to register again by the Pierce County Sheriff's Department and the Department of Corrections. DOC officers say he's known to ride a bicycle around the Tacoma Mall area, so keep your eyes peeled for him if you're going shopping there this weekend.
We want to catch this guy really bad. Edward has been absconding from his duty to register as a sex offender. He has a lot of domestic violence history, and we want to make sure that we know where he is and that he's abiding by the rules of his release.
Edward Harris is 54 years old, 5'8", weighs 180 pounds. He's got a scar under his left eye. If you see him biking around the Tacoma Mall or anywhere, call 911 and then contact Crime Stoppers of Tacoma Pierce County anonymously and tell them you called 911 so you can get the cash reward. You can also submit tips through the P3 Tips app or call 1-800-222-TIPS. Now, take a look at the way this crook in the backpack shuffles his feet with his arms down as he runs to a van that belongs to a food bank in Mount Lake Terrace. Maybe the way he moves will help you identify this guy for detectives who say he was quick to pick the lock, hotwire the van, and then drive it away from the Concern for Neighbors food bank on the afternoon of Saturday, February 27th.
He's wearing a really large backpack, so we don't believe he switched cars or anything. Looks like he might have just been walking by. He's probably local to the neighborhood, and people out here probably know who he is, and would really like to know that.
The van was returned to the food bank a few days later, but detectives still need to know the suspect's name because he vandalized that van by spray painting over the logo. And police believe he is the same guy you see here who broke into the food bank at night 6 days earlier and stole more than $2,000 worth of gift cards from Safeway that were supposed to be given to hungry people. These crimes have a huge negative impact at the food bank that hundreds of people depend on every week.
Our van is used 5 times a week to go to various stores in the area to pick up donations. On average, we give approximately 50 to 70 pounds per household. Between 100 and 110 households, which is between 350 and 400 people.
Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound is offering a cash reward of up to $1,000 if you can identify this suspect. You can call the hotline or text your tip through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. It's anonymous. Well, caught on camera, the Pierce County Sheriff's Department is asking for your help to identify these 2 people who ransacked a home in Spanaway. They stole $2,500 worth of jewelry. And while this is awful to happen to anyone, what matters even worse is that the woman who lived in this home has since passed away, and her son is in the process of buying it. A family already coping with the loss of a loved one, now dealing with even more heartache at the hands of these burglars. Here's Washington's most wanted, Omar Lewis.
So I answered the phone and he goes, "Hey, Mom's house is being broken into."
Craig Hayes' mother recently passed away. Heartbreak for him and his family only made worse by this pilfering pair of home burglars who targeted her Spanaway home, stealing valuables that can't be replaced.
They got a lot of my dad, Air Force guy, they got a lot of his medals, and then my mom had a jewelry box which probably had jewelry in it from back in the mid-60s.
While the home was unoccupied, it wasn't unwatched. Craig's family was notified by Ring cameras alerting them of the crime while it was still in progress back on February 27th. Video shows the 2 men in hats and hoodies going in and out of the home with handfuls of precious and priceless items.
See, they ransacked the bedroom. They actually lifted the mattress up, looked underneath it, to see if there's anything underneath there.
The men rifled through rooms and took off with the safe that was hidden inside a closet before leaving with jewelry, medals, and files loaded with Craig's parents' personal information.
It seems like some of these guys do their homework and they can tell when no one lives there. They can tell that this house has been vacant for a while, or I don't see any cars parked here.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Department is hoping someone recognizes these criminals to bring justice to a family who's dealt with their fair share of heartbreak.
We need your help. We want to find these guys. We want to identify them. We want them to, be accountable for what they did.
So these are some really good shots of the suspects. If you know who these people are or where deputies can find them, you will remain anonymous when you submit a tip to Crime Stoppers of Tacoma Pierce County through the P3 Tips app or call 1-800-222-TIPS, and you'll get a cash reward of up to $1,000. So that's a look at some of the cases featured this weekend on Washington's Most Wanted. To see all of them, join me tonight on Q13 Fox at 11 o'clock. And tomorrow night at 9:30 on Joe TV and 10:30 on Q13 Fox and Fox stations in Spokane, Yakima, and the Tri-Cities. And together, we'll take on this evil. We'll make sure these criminals have nowhere left to hide.